This is Hkhs Sport, bringing you that heat and that fart. We keeping the foot on the what on the Knicks. We keeping the foot on the what on the Knicks. And like the Tibetan mastiff that I am, I'm applying what on immediate pressure. Because pressure does what? It bursts its pipes. Let's talk about it, man. You see, Hkhs Sport has a unique aura about him. Hkhs Sport touches each and every person that he's coming across and paths with, i.e. Ticket TV. This is why Hkhs Sport doesn't do community posts no more. And this is a lesson that I'm teaching other YouTubers. Don't do community posts unless you want people to copycat your shit, man. Let me say it again. Don't do community posts unless you want people to copycat your shit. If you notice, his material used to be a lot better. You know why? Because he had my community posts as a way to buffer what his next title was going to be on a live. Hkhs Sport saw right through that bullshit and fuck shit. Hkhs Sport birdies done told him, look man, this man is copying your shit. I could already tell that he was doing that because I'm a three-dimensional thinker. I see right through the bullshit and fuck shit for what it is. But I had let it slide for a while. But then once this motherfucker came on my channel, started stunting, then I had to ether and murk his ass. And I let even that ride for a second because I was giving him mercy, though. See, this is what people don't understand. There's a Hkhs Sport mercy, man. I was giving this motherfucker mercy so that this motherfucker will understand the errors of his ways and he would change his erroneous ways. But he wouldn't do that. So I had to ether and murk his ass. But see, what people got to understand in this most cold-hearted, in this most unadulterated and cutthroat telefashion, it's as simple as this. Now you have the Akhi TVs of the world copying Hkhs Sport, man. See, when you copy somebody, it's called plagiarism. Plagiarism is when somebody does an original work and you don't give them credit. Notice when I say when a person shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Who do I credit? Who do I cite? I cite Maya Angelou, so I'm not in plagiarism. Notice when I say they call him the truth because what? There's no lies in his damn fist. That's Freddie Roach terminology. Notice I cite and I give credit to credit where credit is due to Freddie Roach. So I'm not a copycat. Or I'm not engaging in plagiarism. Notice when Richard Schaefer said we left the Mayweather era, we ushered into the Spence era. I always cite and give reference to who it came from. And anybody else, whether they were a YouTuber, either on my level or smaller than me, you name it. If they said something, I always gave them credit for it. Because I believe and giving credit where credit is due, man. It's the right thing to do. If you were raised right, if you are moral, if you have a moral compass, if you are ethical, dog, if you follow ethics, man, and if you're governing yourself by principles. See, I was raised right. I was raised with principles. I was raised with understanding that you have to respect other people's work because it's their creativity, it's their originality. Well, this is the same with Hkhs Sport. There was nobody on YouTube that was telling you that Bill Haney and Devin Haney needed to bend the proverbial effing knee or bend the proverbial fucking knee up and kiss the ring while they were added to Floyd Money Mayweather. They were all too busy kissing Bill Haney's ass trying to get interviews, including Akhi TV. Only Hkhs Sport that's bringing you that what? That heat and that fart. And keeping the foot on the what? On the Knicks. And keeping the foot on the what? On the Knicks. And like the Tibetan mastiff that he is, he's applying what? Unlimited pressure. Because pressure does what? He bursts his pipes. He was the one that told Bill Haney, if you want your son to be crispier than a fucking three-piece, and you see motherfuckers in the comment section, they always come back to confirm what Hkhs Sport said. Because when you're the ultimate truth teller and you reign yourself on truth, people will always confirm the authenticity and the consistency of your work. What I said was so deep and profound. Let me let that marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. So hear me? Hear me? Fucking well. When you have authenticity and consistency in your work, people will always talk about it. They will always denote it. They will always tell you, yes, you were on the thumb, you were on the wave, you was on the curve, and you was on the needle of the damn situation. But you guys know why? Because I'm the ultimate truth teller, man. The man above already gave me all wisdom, all knowledge, and all understanding. Like King Solomon in his great day, man. And then he sprinkled a manifold of discernment on top of that. So when I go before the magistrates, i.e. when I'm talking against big channels or I'm talking against anyone. I don't think of what I need to think at that moment, because the man above tells me to think not what ye shall say, for at that moment it will not be you that speak, but it will be me that speaketh through you, dog. Notice the spirit of prophecy, man. What is the true spirit of prophecy? This is why Hkhs Support is Nostradamus. This is why Hkhs Support is seer mode fashion, dog. The spirit of prophecy in its true biblical form is as simple as this. When a person tells you something that's a prophecy, it shall come to pass. And if it doesn't come to pass, then it didn't come from above, man. Because anything that comes to pass after the prophet has said it means that it was prophecy in of itself. Notice when Hkhs Support says something via the spirit of prophecy, it comes to pass. Because he has discernment. He is a seer, man. I am this generation's seer, dog. I'm this generation's prophet. And a prophet is not honored in his own home, let alone his own country, man. And those whom they rejected became the chief cornerstone. They always reject Hkhs Support, but Hkhs Support is always the chief cornerstone. Because like I done told you guys, man, I done govern myself and fall myself up on the truth. Because there's nothing greater than truth telling, man. The truth hurts, but it will always have its day, and the truth will set you free. And those whom the truth set free are free indeed. That's what the good book says, man. And Hkhs Support, look at the raging babe. Hkhs Support that Ether and murked her enough to where she's even talking right now, man. See, this is the power and the influence of a Hkhs Support, man. Hkhs Support impacts people. Hkhs Support has copycats. Hkhs Support has those that plagiarize his work. They've been doing this from the jump. Hkhs Support is just tired of playing nice. Because when it's all said and done, you can't get credit for my work and do all of this supposed heavyweight lifting when I did the heavyweight lifting. You didn't do no heavyweight lifting. Bill Haney and Devin Haney shouldn't come out of anybody else's mouth but mine. And if you do say it, you need to say, yeah, man, Hkhs Support, dog. I gotta give him credit. He was the first motherfucker to say this shit. You know, Hkhs Support been saying it. I don't have a problem saying that about others. But people have a fundamental issue of saying that with Hkhs Support. But this is the storyline of Hkhs Support's life, man. I always got to deal with jealousy and envy from others, man. People always jealous and envious of me. Hkhs Support, of me personally, Abe, they are jealous, man. I don't know what it is, dog. They just jealous. They hot and bothered like grits. This is why Jay-Z said, men shouldn't be jealous. It's a female trait, dog. Let me say it again. Men shouldn't be jealous. It's a female trait. There's a lot of men protruding themselves as alphas and true alphas, but they are jealous and envious of Hkhs Support, man. That means you're not an alpha, because you're supposed to iron sharpen iron. It's okay when someone's greater than you, dog, because everybody's not on the same level. Meek Mill said this. There's levels to this stuff. There's gears. Everybody's not going to be on the same level, man. This is biblical, man. It says in the good book that God weighs all the spirits by the weights and the balances. Do you know why he weighs all the spirits by the weights and the balance? Because they're not all weighed on the same balance. You Rudy, poor plum brain. They're not all weighed on the same balance. Your classic Doden Troglodyte. They're not all weighed on the same balance. You ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetorics. They're on different weights and they're on different balances. Because they are all different. They're all weighed differently. Because everybody's not the same. If this is understood at a biblical level, why is it not understand in the natural plane of the earthly level, man? Didn't the good book say thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven? Earth is supposed to replicate heaven, man. But it doesn't. Because you have too many people fence straddling, talking about two sideways out of their ass, not giving you guys real information. They're being fickle. This is why Hkhs Support is needed out here in these YouTube streets, dog, of basketball and boxing, so that he could reveal to you guys what these French straddlers are. Blue Blood Sports TV, Barbershops Conversations. All of these guys are fence straddling fucking betas, man. They straddle the fucking fence. They're telling you one side of the aisle, and then they're giving you and painting you a different picture. So Hkhs Support has to keep the unlimited pressure on their ass. Snowbiz the coon. Because that's what he is. He's a fucking coon, man. This guy's been a coon from day one. A real fucking coon. And see, Hkhs Support is a master of timing, dog. Let me say it again. Hkhs Support is a master of timing. Everything has its time to be dealt with. This motherfucker been talk shit about me way long ago, 2019 and 2020, on his fucking lives. This is how you know that Hkhs Support has impact. So when motherfuckers say, well, Akhi TV, he don't know you, but he copied my shit. So how he doesn't fucking know me? You Rudy Poet Plum Plum Brain. He copied my shit. How does he not fucking know me? You classic dope and troglodyte. How did he copy my shit? How does he not know me? You ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. I drop videos every fucking day. It's too easy for a motherfucker to see my video title and say, damn, that shit is catchy. That shit will be on the wave. That shit will be on the thumb. That shit will be on the needle. That shit will be on the eye, on the curve of the situation, so it's going to work. Do you understand why I'm like the turtle, man? And I'm going to continuously grow, slow and steady. I'm not growing as fast as these motherfuckers because these motherfuckers are finch straddling. Finch straddlers always grow fast. They're the hares of the race, man. But what happens to the hare? The hare eventually tires out. The hare gives out. But what happens to the turtle in the race? The turtle never gives out, dog. The turtle ultimately wins because he's slow, steady, and consistent. You see, what people gotta understand, you see, I'm gonna quote another reference, dog. This was from Robert Blake. See, I don't take my own shit that don't belong to me. I quote and cite references from where they are. The sprint is saturated, but the marathon is not. The great Robert Blake said this. See, I don't have a problem giving motherfuckers credit when they say some shit. But at the same time, I want my credit when I say some shit. And see, from here on out, Genghis Khan level of Hkhs Support, which is the most visceral level. And I told you guys, Hkhs Support is can man. Anybody can fucking get it. No one is safe. So if you copy my shit, I'm gonna out you. I'm gonna put you out there and I'm going to embarrass you, man. So the best thing to do is bend the proverbial fucking knee and give credit where credit is due. Absence that, you will be outed, motherfuckers. So what's not the cold-hearted? What's not the unadulterated? What's not the cutthroat true teller fashion? It's time to put respect on Hkhs Support's name, man. And it's time to tell what Hkhs Support's been telling you motherfuckers from the jump. When Hkhs Support says some shit, give credit where credit's due. When Hkhs Support drops ether level bombs of what happens and it comes to happen, give credit where credit's due. And when Hkhs Support is bringing you that what, that heat and that fart, and keeping the foot on the what on the Hkhs, and keeping the foot on the what on the Hkhs, and like the Tibetan Mastiff that he is, he's applying what unlimited pressure, because pressure does what, he bursts his pipes. And give credit where credit's due. It's really that simple, man. Absence that, unlimited pressure is all on you, Rudy Poo, all on you, Plum Plum Brain, all on you, Classic Dose, all on you, troglodytes, all on you, ultra fanboys, and all on you, ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric's neck. I keeps the foot on the what on the Hkhs. I keeps the foot on the what on the Hkhs. This is Hkhs Support. Checking out.